Hey guys, happy Monday. I'm gonna wait a few seconds before I start the party. Hope everyone's back into the swing of things. Start of the week. A lot of you coming off a break. Always hard to get started again into the routine. All right. I see that I am officially live, so I will go ahead and get started. Tonight, I wanted to just go over very quickly, very broad overview of carbohydrates. So I called it a carb party to make sure you'd come and you'd watch this. Who doesn't love their carbs, right? Um, but there is a lot of misconceptions and still a lot of fear around carbs. So I just wanted to touch real quickly on it tonight. And tomorrow I'll follow up with a document that I usually post after my lives. So some people do well by hearing different things. Some people like to see and visualize. So I like to do a visual with a document or a PDF that follows my lives. So I'll do that tomorrow for you. Now, let me just start by saying that this is going to be kind of a blanket statement as I go through this with carbs. Because everybody is very different. Every person's body makeup is wildly different, and our metabolisms are all very different based on all of the choices we've made up until right now. So you could be somebody that does well on a lower carb plan. You just feel better, you function better, and that serves you well. Whereas somebody else who may be high level athlete needs a ton of carbs to perform properly. So there's going to be a lot of individual variance with carbohydrates. However, I do think there is still a lot of fear and misconceptions around carbs themselves. So I wanted to just go through a little bit of that tonight with you. First of all, like I said, I'm not anti low carb, no carb, keto, this, that, the other. I just have to say that every person is different. If you are somebody that is okay with never eating a carb again in your life, including fruits and vegetables, then keto might be for you. I don't know many people that can say that, honestly, or tell me they have a very good transition plan to come off of keto if they're going to go on it. So I'm very strict and stringent on that just because my whole mission is longevity and sustainability. So I would never actually put somebody on a plan like that, not knowing that they could do it forever. So that's my whole thing. I think somebody just posted in the page about 80-20, and it was a funny meme. I didn't get a chance to laugh at it yet, but it's true. And I'll talk about that in a second as we get closer to the end here. But carbs are basically a part of your calorie consumption. So we talked about macronutrients a few weeks back. If you guys are new to this page, I have a guides section where you can go through any of the past videos that I mentioned on tonight's live. So if you're watching this now or if you're watching it later, you can go back and research the macros videos that I've done. But basically, macros are the large nutrients that we need to eat. And carbohydrates is one of those macronutrients. The other two are proteins and fats. And actually, we can go into alcohol too, but that's a whole nother topic. So I'll do another live probably on alcohol at some point. I think I've done a little bit of that too. However, carbs are our main source of energy. So the body's, when it consumes it, it's going to use that, to perform and even brain function. So energy for your brain to function properly is super important when it comes to carbohydrate consumption. So where I think things get a little construed and diet culture and social media and certain things out there have really pushed the keto on people, or carbs are bad, this and that and the other, carbs make you fat. That's a huge, I see that all the time. Or just even in general, people are like, I really need to cut down on the carbs. And this and that and the other thing. And it's like, well, that might be true, but probably you just need to cut down on the overall calories, and really take a look at how your calories are being balanced out. Because number one, if you are eating in excess continuously day over day, you are in a calorie surplus and you are going to gain weight from that. And those calories could be coming from carbs, they could be coming from fats, a combination of both. They could be coming from alcohol, they could be coming from protein. That's rare. A lot of people I work with, anyways, are low on the protein, but you never know. So again, calories are king, but when we want to look at carbohydrates, we want to try to get into a nice balanced approach with it. That's my approach anyways. So again, thinking long term, thinking of ways that are going to make you a happy person and not restrict and then fall into the restrict binge cycle. I've been there and it's not fun. So let's break down a little bit of the carbohydrates into kind of where you might hear, oh, hi, Paige. Sorry, Paige just came in. Where a carbohydrate is good versus bad. So I like to cross off the word good and bad and replace it with simple and complex. Simple carbs tend to be our bad ones. So we think of things that are those bad carbs. What do we think of? We think of like donuts, pizza, pastries, cookies, candy, all that fun stuff. Then we have the good carbs, which are, I like to cross that off and use the word complex carbs because they are the carbs that are fueling the body in a different way. They are digesting in a different way, taking a little bit longer to get through the body and serve its function for energy. So those are things like rice, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, even some pastas and stuff could fall into this category. So different carbs like that. That's what I think I'll follow up with this video is a list of kind of like simple versus complex carbs. And here's the thing, we don't have to get rid of either one of them. We have to just find the way that they balance and mix in with our plan. So let me just show you what we got here. We've got the white rice here. And actually, this is interesting. A lot of people have said over the years that brown rice is preferred or the better, more healthier version of carbs for you. However, I've been hearing lately that white rice is where it's at. So white rice is considered complex carb. It's going to digest better for you. Has a lot of nutrients in it. Whereas, guess what? We've got this carb right here. Yes, we have candy in our house. I do have children, so I just found the stash before I did this live video in my daughter's room. So we've got Skittles, we've got Snickers, and some could argue that there's a little protein in this, but that's stretching it a little bit. All right, so those are the faster, carbs that are what they're basically going to do when you eat a candy like that is it's going to spike the blood sugars very quickly. And then what happens after that? You crash. So what I like to say is you don't have to get rid of this stuff. If you are a person that craves this type of stuff, you can start to lower the cravings. But what you want to do is pair these things with more nutrient-dense foods. So instead of just having candy as a snack, or like if you keep it at your desk, like the refined sugars, Skittles, Starburst, you just grab them here and you're not even paying attention sometimes with some of that stuff. But that can really play a role on your blood sugars throughout the day. So then what does it do? It actually kind of causes you to want more of it. So that's another thing. So we've got those spikes in blood sugar, and then we've got the cravings that are going to continue with the sugary types of carbs like that. Fruits and vegetables, also another source of carbs. So we obviously want to pay attention to those in our diets, where they are providing a lot of micronutrients. So vitamins, minerals, different things that are going to be vital when it comes to your hormonal balance and thyroid function. So if we're skipping out completely on carbs and we're saying, nope, no fruits, no vegetables, you're going to have to supplement those in somehow, because at some point your thyroid is going to not be happy and not produce the hormones that it should be to make your body function the way it should be. And that can affect your metabolism. And down the road, 10 years, you're like, I did keto and I did this and that and the other thing. And now all of a sudden it just doesn't work the same, or I can't keep going with it. It's just too hard. And so that's where I'm trying to go with this. All right. So I guess I would say is like my takeaway from tonight's video is that instead of completely eliminating carbs, try to think of ways that you can pair other nutrient dense foods with some of those, simpler carbs if you want to keep them in your diet. If like you are that sugary, you crave a lot of that stuff, have like a salad or something substantial with protein in it, then finish it off with, a handful of the Skittles or whatever. I like to look at, take the approach of add things to your diet versus subtract. Actually, I think I saw something today on social media that said just that same thing. And I loved the kind of like the mentality of that is that if we get out of that restrictive mindset and think of ways that we can add more nutrients in, you're just that much better off as far as function and feeling good and mood. I mean, let's face it, our food can obviously affect our mood throughout the day and energy levels. So huge. All right, so I hope that helps you out a little bit with carbs. I just did a very brief overview. Can definitely go in a lot of different directions when it comes to carbs and a lot of different rabbit holes, but that's just the general gist of everything. And what I'd like you to do if you're watching this video now, or if you're watching the replay at some time later, just comment below with your favorite carb and something you can think of to pair it with that might help with your blood sugar stabilization, or something that you want to add into your diet on top of keeping some of your favorite carbs. So your favorite carb, what's something that you could pair with it to make it a little bit better on your blood sugar? All right, so I hope that helps you guys. I'm going to follow up tomorrow with a more, visual or a PDF, something along the lines of that with different types of carbs for you to choose from. So have an excellent night and rest of your week. And I will be back again next week with another topic for you.